Let's check in on the hospitality sector. I've got Stephen Ferguson joining me, who's the CEO of the Australian Hotels Association. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. First up, in New South Wales, the speculation is around October the 14th. From that date, restaurants, hotels and the like will be open for the fully vaccinated, presumably served by the fully vaccinated. Is that a model that you think your industry can work with?
Oh, absolutely, Chris. And we've been working very closely with the New South Wales government and also the Victorian government on ways in which we can reopen. And having fully vaccinated staff and fully vaccinated patrons is one way that gives governments the confidence to know that they can at least take the first step to open. We'd all like to be like Queensland, Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia and the NT, who at the moment pretty well don't have any restrictions on them, except for perhaps QR check-in codes. But New South Wales, Victoria and their ACT are in a very, very different situation. So for those two states and territory, it's all about having the conversations with governments on what will keep governments satisfied as to how we can get the doors open, get people back to work into the jobs that they want to have, and allow businesses to start making a profit again.
See, the question, though, is if a fully vaccinated couple can sit at the table and have a meal at a restaurant in Sydney or Melbourne on October the 14th, why couldn't they be doing that right now?
Look, that's a fair question, but this solution's technology is a technology solution. It's being worked on by Ministers Dominello and Roberts in conjunction with the hospitality sector, tourism sector, transport sector, cinemas and others. They're looking for a technology. Can I just jump in here?
That's a problem, though, isn't it? Really, people are being denied these freedoms now, effectively, while we wait to get a decent app to prove that everybody's vaccinated. I mean, surely we should go for the freedoms first and not have to wait another month for technology.
I think there are questions around the presentation of the current app as it appears on people's mobile phones. The intention also is to not have a 2 or 3 step process when people do get to check in, but they're able to check in using a streamlined system where it only takes one action. Also, the national plan was to open up when the figures first dose got to 70%, that restrictions would be eased. New South Wales looks like it's going to be the first state to get there, and that's, I think, why that's the reason for the target with Premier Berejiklian to be the middle of October.
So you're fired up and ready to go. Do you think Victoria will be far behind that?
Oh, I think once again they're certainly having the conversations down there. I think from what Premier Andrews has said, he's certainly on board as well. If they do wait for the 70% mark, I think they're a little bit behind New South Wales at this stage, but we'd be hoping to get them open as soon as possible. I think one of the great things, Chris, I mean, you were talking about the domestic borders before, is that I think if New South Wales and Victoria can lead the way and give people confidence about how to open up safely, how to use technology that you can very quickly prove that you've been vaccinated, that should ease the concerns of the people, the residents and premiers of the other states in terms of allowing travel to those places much more quickly than they are now.